Hello and welcome to Converse-ations, because that's what we're going to title this as. I'm sorry you can't see us. I don't know what to tell you. We have 7 lights on, and you still can't see us.
Is it because this is...
Yes, it's because this is so bright and our lights are terrible. You would think that we bought our lights at Dollar Tree. Today we are doing, what are we doing? An FAQ, a FAQ?
Yeah, we're gonna answer some questions from people.
Who is RainbowSunProductions?
Good question.
Us.
At this point in time, it's us. So if you don't know us, I'm Katie Nail. This is Eric Shearer. We founded RainbowSunProductions in 2018, but that's not when we started working together.
No, we worked together in 1886.
We really started working creatively together with Actors Reaching Out, the nonprofit that Eric founded. I've joined the board of directors in 2015, and we found that we had a lot of creative projects that didn't fit with the Actors Reaching Out message, which is using theater to promote literacy and community outreach. So we'd come up with project ideas and say that doesn't really have anything to do with theater or literacy or community outreach. So we founded RainbowSunProductions so that we could continue to explore those other creative ideas.
Creative projects like this thing. What is Thomas and the Magic Railroad? What is it?
What is Thomas and the Magic Railroad?
That's a good question. This movie came out in 2000. It's Thomas the Tank Engine's only wide theatrical released film. Some of the television specials have been released in limited engagements in theaters, but this is the only one worldwide released.
There's a difference between a theatrical feature film and a special release of a special.
Yes. So Thomas and the Magic Railroad came out and it didn't do too good. It didn't really make much sense. It was based on both Thomas and Friends and Chinatown Station, so the UK audiences didn't really understand what was going on with Chinatown Station characters. And then everyone was like, where is Thomas? This movie's supposed to be about him and he's barely in it. So there was a lot of misconceptions about what this movie was going to be, and then it didn't deliver the way that audiences and fans thought it would.
People didn't know what to expect when they walked into the theater, and this was not the movie that they thought they were sitting down to see.
So then what is this Lost Edition?
Years later, a script showed up online, and it was being used by film students for analysis. However, the script was not what we saw on screen in theaters. It featured characters that had been cut, it featured scenes and plot elements that didn't make it to the final film, and a lot of people online looked at the final film and said, what happened?
Yeah.
This is a completely different film.
Now, granted, most films go through weird editing things, and you see a lot of it popping up now, but this was wildly...
These were drastic changes.
Yeah.
People reached out to Britt Allcroft, who had written and directed the original film, and asked, why is this script that's been released so different from the final product? And she revealed that during a test screening, the audiences hadn't reacted very well to the film as it had been shot, which matched the script that had been revealed. Then
the executive producers said, you know what, you're going to have to re-edit this film before we release it into theaters because we don't feel comfortable releasing this film that's not going to do well in theaters. So in about 4 weeks or so, give or take, I don't know the exact number, we're going to go with 4 weeks, I think is what it was. Britt and the editing team had to go in and reconstruct the entire movie, deleted characters, re-recorded lines, added new dialogue, deleted. It was a whole big puzzle piece of reshifting things, and it still didn't do well.
Significant edits for a lackluster release. Even despite all of those changes, it didn't do as well as they had expected. So what are we trying to do with this 20th anniversary celebration?
So what is this 20th anniversary celebration? Well, what we did is there are 2 scripts that came out online. One is from May 1999 and one is the filmed, which was a draft version. Then there was the August 1999 script, which was what was filmed and shot. And then the 2000 release film from July. So what we've done is I've taken elements of all 3 of those scripts, smushed them together, and then said, okay, this is okay so far.
How do we make all of these pieces fit together?
Because there was a lot of plot points that people are like, I don't understand how this works. This only exists, Thomas and the Magic Railroad exists in an alternate universe So like it doesn't really fit the Shine Station. It doesn't really fit Thomas. So there are things that happen like the Bellflower, and like things that just don't make sense. So what I tried to do with this script is flush everything out and say, okay, what characters need to be in this? Why are these some characters not in this? Let's give an explanation. Why do some of these things exist in this universe? To try to flesh out the story a little bit and make it cohesive.
And make it more consistent with the Thomas universe that people are familiar with.
The other thing, too, is because this is a 20th anniversary celebration, it's not directly one script versus another. It's not one direct adaptation. It is a...
reflection.
It is almost like a remake. It's a recreation and a reimagining of what the movie could have been and could be still. Is this going to be live?
No.
What do you mean?
No. So,
are the people in it alive?
Yes, in their own homes. Because of coronavirus and COVID-19, all of the participants in this project have recorded in the safety of their own homes and sent in the footage for editing.
It has allowed them to be a little bit more flexible. If you're expecting a prim, proper cut of this film, you're not getting it with this. This is I'm very excited to see the reaction to the presentation because I'm having a great time editing it. I think the performances have been great. Everyone about it's been good.
Involved is having so much fun with this material.
So wait, so this is a digital presentation. People
Yes.
are recording from home. So this is not a stage musical?
This is not a stage show. This is not a full musical. This is a script reading with song moments.
Why is Broadway World covering this then?
Because the Broadway actors that are involved are really excited, and also they can't be on Broadway because of COVID-19, so they're with us.
So Sodor. So this is not a stage show.
No.
This is not. Is this a musical?
Not exactly.
So it's a concert.
Sort of.
So so we don't know what this is.
So by definition, it is not a musical because a musical is where the music and the songs move the plot forward. These are songs that have highlight moments, but they're not. The songs are not involved in the plot itself.
So the best two examples, if you want to look up like kind of what we're going for with this, the two videos I can suggest is the Nanny episode 1 table read that they just did a few months ago, and then the other presentation that just went up but was filmed 5 years ago was the Actors Fund fundraiser for Bombshell, a concert which is based on the TV show Smash. So the way the Bombshell concert worked was they did songs, and then in between the songs they did dialogue. That was more of a concert versus this is more of the script reading with the songs placed where they would be in the script, done in a concert style format. So it's similar to that. It's the
best of both worlds.
You get a little bit of everything. What songs will be in this event? Well, guess what? You're going to have to tune in to find out. That's going to be a lot of our answers for some of these questions.
Yeah, a lot of this will make sense when you watch it, but we are featuring the locomotion.
Yes, because that has been advertised.
Yes.
What's really cool about that is I had reached out and had partnered with a couple of the cast members that were in Bad Out of Hell the musical, and then I said, well, this will be really fun if we just continue to reach out to all these people, and if they want to be involved, we'll just have them all stay in the locomotion. So we think we have like, I don't know, somewhere around 10 different cast members from the different productions around the world, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Something weird, something different. Does it make sense with Thomas?
Yeah,
No.
it's a sentence that
He's a train out of hell. Like,
it's a sentence that even with context doesn't make much more sense. People from various productions of Bad Out of Hell the musical will be singing the locomotion.
somebody asked, will the song He Loves, She Loves be featured in the presentation? So in one of the two original scripts, there is a classic song by Fred Astaire that is featured in like a flashback, yeah, a backflash. No, that song will not be featured in the presentation. The song...
There will be a song there.
In that spot, yeah. And if you are familiar with the movie and the soundtrack, you'll know what song that is.
And it is beautiful. It has been edited, it is gorgeous.
It's been everything about this presentation is how could we bring this 20 years later? If we could remake this, what would we adapt or change or keep the same? And we've had that flexibility with a lot of these things. And that song in particular had a great opportunity to be reimagined in a really pretty way. Will the Humming Man score be used for this presentation? the plan is yes.
Limited.
We're going to see how this goes. I did a test with the chase scene. It lined up perfectly. And I was like, oh, good. I don't have to tweak very much. So it all might be used. It might be altered a little bit, depending, because we gotta stretch it out.
A lot of it is a matter of timing.
And seeing how it fits. We're going to use some of it, yes. It's going to be nice to hear it all put together. Oh, here's a good question. Will the footage from the movie or work print be used? During the presentation? No. During the introduction? Possibly. Like, whatever is in the released footage.
Whatever is publicly released can be used.
Ding ding.
Depending on how familiar you are with Thomas and the Magic Railroad, you may be aware of the fact that there was a recent leak of some of the pre-production footage from 20 years ago. However, that was not authorized for public release, and thus we will not be using that footage.
No. And the reason why we are only utilizing the footage in an introduction standpoint to kind of give an idea of what the presentation is and everything is because that way people are kind of like, oh, I kind of remember that movie. Oh, I forgot that person was in it. And it's going to be more, yeah, and it's going to be more of like a couple of clips of samplings. Like it's going to be like maybe 15, 20 seconds of footage versus we're not going to be putting the footage during the presentation. We really want the focus to be on the performers that we've gotten for this presentation.
They're not lip syncing. Like this isn't. They're not trying to match footage, particularly because there are moments that there is no footage to use.
Yeah.
So rather than kind of back and forth with and without footage, it's just going to be no footage during the presentation to keep it a consistent look.
With that being said, will any of the audio from the original film with the original trains or with the performer or the actors like Dee Dee Khan or Alec Baldwin be utilized during the presentation?
This is a fresh reimagining.
So, no.
Sound effects?
We will be, yes, there will be sound effects, limited
sound effects. That was a new question.
I got a couple of questions from the performers as they were reading, and like, do I have to actually like whistle with my mouth? Do I have to say whistle, whistle? Like I was like, no, like I got this. Like
this is like Star Wars. You don't have to supply your own lightsaber noises while filming a battle.
Who is in this presentation? I'm in it.
So many amazing
people. This is one of the biggest projects that we've ever worked on. It's one of the largest casts that I've ever worked with. And everyone's been wonderful. If you want to look at the press release, some of the people that are in it, subject to change, some of those people are not in it, just so you know. So that's a sampling and a majority of the cast. However, not all of the cast has been announced yet. So once you see it on July 19th, you'll know who's in it. Yeah. There's some Broadway people, there's some West End people, there's some comedians, there's some award-winning actors, there's some Disney Channel people that you'll recognize. Some people from us, yeah. There's some people from the current TV show. Some of the voice actors are appearing.
People from our previous productions that we've done live.
Yeah, so you'll see there's a couple people that we worked on with Nevermore that are appearing in this. You'll see Irene and Jessa because you always see them in everything we do.
The diversity of this cast really proves how beloved this material is. People from every part of the entertainment industry looked at this title and said, I want to be involved in this. It didn't matter if they were film or stage. It didn't matter if
their experience either.
Decades
we have some people
of professional experience and people who are just joining. And it's really exciting to get to feature people from so many different backgrounds because as exciting as it is to have people who have this incredible list of credits, we've also tried to give people an opportunity for growing their credits list.
Will anyone from the original film or soundtrack be making an appearance in this? You'll have to watch to find out. We might have some surprise appearances that we don't even know about yet. We're gonna, as long as
it's still in progress.
As long as the video is not uploaded, like there's still opportunity to add appearances of people in. The one person that is credited in the press release so far that will be reprising her song from the soundtrack is Dana Manning, who is singing I Know How the Moon Must Feel. So it'll be nice to hear that song again performed by the person on the soundtrack in a live-ish format. What actor is playing what character? Because we've gotten asked that a lot. Who's playing these? Who's voicing Thomas? Who's voicing this? Who's voicing that? And it's like, whoa, calm your buffers. We'll get there.
I'd say some of them are pretty obvious.
Some of them are more like when you look at the
Yeah.
credits list or you look at the people play, you're kind of like, okay. Again, we're not going to announce anything. We're going to let the performers introduce themselves at the beginning of the presentation, so they will have the honor of saying, I am me, and I am playing this character. Which then leads to the next question. Because of the variations of the scripts, there are certain characters that appear in one version that don't appear in others. So the one character that keeps getting asked about is P.T. Boomer. For those of you that don't know, that is the human antagonist that got completely cut out of the released film. The reason being too scary. I don't think that's realistic or accurate. I don't really...
That's all that's been released
That's
publicly.
all that we know. So that is the one character that I will say, yes, P.T. Boomer is making an appearance in this variation because he was such an important part of the original script, and he is also going to have some expanded all the characters have expanded scenes or dialogue or explanations, so
You'll get plenty of screen time with P.T. Boomer.
Yeah.
The character was originally played in the film by Doug Lennox, who has passed away since then, so clearly he's been recast.
Yes, and I do have to say,
so pleased.
I did not expect the performance, because when you ask people to do this, sometimes you're kind of like, is this person just, or any of the people going to just go, I am reading the script, I am reading this thing because I was asked to read this, or are they going to give a full performance? Let me tell you, P.T. Boomer, everyone in this presentation,
yeah,
but
everyone has brought it.
But P.T. Boomer's actor just nailed it. Will props or costumes be utilized during the presentation?
That's up to the individual performers.
Some people said, I tried looking in my house to find stuff. I found a couple of things. I didn't find everything. And it's like, we're not expecting that. I gave guided pictures or character references and said, if you want to dress in coordinated colors, this is what this character would wear. If you have something, great. If not,
if it helps your
wear
performance
clothes.
to be in character.
Yeah. How long is this presentation going to be? Forever. We have no idea.
It is
you gotta
in the
think
editing
about
process.
you gotta think about that this is an expanded scene. You also have to keep in mind that a lot of, because we don't have like establishing shots to showcase this train is moving and racing this motorcycle, we have a person that's designated as the narrator to like basically read the stage directions and set up for the scenes. So that way you know what's going on, so it kind of plays like an audio drama a little bit.
Also, songs that were in the soundtrack behind scenes now get their own moment, so the songs increase the length.
Yeah.
And you have scenes from multiple versions of a script and new material, and it just keeps growing.
So we'll see what happens. It'll be long, it'll be great, it'll be fun.
It's magically expanding.
Why are we doing this presentation? Well, now we can talk about a little bit about the charity that we're partnering with.
We're working with the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network. This is a fantastic charity that does work in both the United States and the United Kingdom, and it is focused on making sure that people who are on the autistic spectrum are able to speak for themselves, because this is not the kind of condition where they need someone to speak for them. Mm-hmm. They are fully capable of standing up for themselves. So this is focused on making sure that they have all the resources that they need to succeed.
The other thing is that they do a lot of training programs and educational programming as well. So a lot of the funding that comes in will be to assist in helping teachers learn how to properly communicate with their autistic students and be able to understand how to work with them in the best capacity. So there's the programs like that the donations will be able to help increase those programs and the awareness. The donation link is now open, so if you have the need at this very moment to make a donation, please do so.
If you feel inspired.
Our goal is to raise $20,000 to be split between the US and the UK program, so 10,000, 10,000. So the more you share the fundraiser, the more awareness it gets, the more donations people will make. We think this is a great opportunity to be able to do this and to partner with such a great organization. Another reason is there's been back and forth petitions and signature sheets about getting the original film released. We don't know if that's ever going to happen, so we wanted
that's out of our hands.
So we wanted to create a presentation that would kind of serve as if we don't get this original film, this is a good balancing point.
This is a good tribute to it.
Yeah, and to say this is what it could have been, but also this is what it could be if it was remade. So it's in this weird, like, cool, different spot.
It's the alternate universe of the alternate universe.
Yes, exactly. If the fundraiser is successful and this presentation gets more views and we get more subscribers and we get all of those analytics written out,
all of those numbers and statistics.
You know, who knows if Mattel notices how successful this is, who knows what might happen. Mattel is, for those of you that don't know, Mattel is now the owner of Thomas and Friends. So who knows? This could do really cool things for the future. This could also be presented on stage at some point. So the original plan was to be able to do a staged reading on stage with an orchestra, with the songs doing exactly what we're doing with this presentation. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, we're not able to do that. But if this is successful, we might be able to do something like that in the future. We might be able to film that. Who knows what's going to happen?
It has a lot of room for
opportunity.
growth.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to be able to do different things with this. What is the future of Thomas and the Magic Railroad? That's completely up to you.
This is not the end of the road for Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
It's not the end of the line.
Yeah.
Who knows? The success of this is up to you, the fans, the viewers. So if you share this, the more viewers should we get, the more donations that the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network receives, the better the success rate and the better opportunity to be able to do more of these types of presentations with or without the Thomas brand. So who knows what could happen in the future.
In terms of the future of our own productions, we recently did the Howard Ashman Celebration.
The Howard Ashman Celebration collected donations for the Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS organization. They are based in New York City, and that was a good partnership with the Thomas and the Magic Railroad 20th anniversary celebration. Partnering with the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network is also a good partnership charity to presentation. So.
We have other charities and nonprofits that we really want to work with, and we have production plans in the works for more processes like this.
More presentations
like this.
But we hope we were able to kind of give you an idea of what to expect next week when this presentation goes live. When does it go live? Depends on where you're at. Where do you live?
The presentation will go live on July 19th, but what time it goes live will depend on where you live.
We tried to find something that was middle ground for everyone. So for the West Coast US, it's noon. For the East Coast, it's 3 p.m. So it's 12, 1, 2, 3. And then for the UK, it's 8 p.m. So good luck with that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, yep.
5 plus 3
can't
is
math.
8. I learned
not
to
my
count
strong
from
suit.
Lamb Chop. It'll be streamed for the first time all the way through, and then after it's done with that initial stream, you'll be able to watch it as much as you want through July 31st. Please, again, continue to share the video, share the donation link, help us obtain all of the goals.
Tell us who you're excited to see.
Everyone! Me. No, I'm kidding. Nobody wants to see me, but you're going to! Thanks for watching this. Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.
We have a lot of Thomas content.
We do, which wasn't the original intent, but here we are.
If you want other nostalgic content, let us know in the comments what other topics you want to discuss. Do you have more stuff in the works?
We have a lot of things
taking a look at other nostalgic children's media.
We have that. We have some more musical theater content that we're going to be doing analyses about.
You can also follow Rainbow Sun Productions on Facebook for updates. We are on Instagram as well, and then we both have personal accounts that you can follow if you want more of a particular brand of crazy. Which flavor of crazy would you like more from?
Don't be creepy. So again, tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on July 19th for the premiere of Thomas and the Magic Railroad 20th Anniversary Celebration. We're very excited, and we hope you are too. We will see you next week with this presentation. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be huge. Full steam ahead. Off the rails.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.